PDA, Pathological Demand Avoidance Syndrome. Presentation 2, PDA Avoidance Behaviours. In this presentation, I focus on the specific behaviours exhibited by PDA children in skillfully avoiding demands made of them. Please see Presentation 1 for more information about the history and diagnosis of PDA. PDA can be described as a severe anxiety or phobia of complying with demands. Like all phobias, the sufferer acts to recoil from the anxiety-creating stimulus. The reptilian brain takes over and decides to do one of 4 primitive responses. 4 responses to fear and stress: fight, flight, flock, and freeze. The behaviours of a child with PDA can be categorised under each of these responses. PDA fight behaviours. The fight reflex is easily observed during aggressive outbursts such as tantrums, lashing out, throwing things, upturning furniture and swearing. These are clear messages to stay away. The fight response is also present in arguing behaviour. As the language skills of PDA children develop, they increasingly use counter-argument to explain why they can't follow the request given to them. PDA children will also try to turn the argument away from them. For example, by pointing out that someone else is not doing the request. You only want me to do this because you don't want to do it yourself. It's so unfair! Why aren't they doing it? PDA children will also fight demands by finding excuses to explain why they can't do them. I just need to do this or finish this. My pencil's broken. My hand's not working. PDA flight behaviours. The most obvious sign of the flight response is when the child is running away or hiding. PDA children will often choose to escape when failing to avoid a demand using other avoidance behaviours. PDA children will also withdraw into fantasy as a way of avoiding demands. Robots don't eat lunch. I need to brush my unicorn's hair. PDA children will also use toys to resist demands. My teddy doesn't want me to do this. PDA children are also highly proficient at using distraction. They will change subject, ask a question, or draw attention to something else. For example, complimenting an adult on their appearance. PDA flock behaviours. Flocking involves seeking a reassuring person, group, thing or activity. Some PDA children may display separation anxiety as they become worried about the demands at school. Flocking behaviour is also seen in obsessive behaviours. PDA children may often focus on one child and want to be frequently near them, touching them and playing with them. The PDA child will then try to lead and direct the other child as a means of controlling demands. They may also engage in ritual activities such as pacing a room or needing things done in an exact way. Some PDA children also have sensory needs that can influence their obsessive behaviour. For example, not tolerating having dirty hands. PDA freeze behaviours. The freeze response can be observed when PDA children pretend to have not heard or understood a request or a demand made of them. PDA children may sometimes sleep more as a way of reducing anxiety caused by demands. PDA children. In spite of their behaviour difficulties, PDA children are often described as charming, endearing, and likeable. But their sociability is limited. Their playful and amusing comments and actions are often subtle and skillful forms of social manipulation. These children are generally hypervigilant and socially observant, being constantly alert to the threat of a new demand. PDA avoidance behaviours often go unnoticed until a child starts formal schooling. It is at this point that the child becomes unable to charm their way out of demands and their difficulties really begin to show. PDA in School is the title of the next presentation.